Okay. All right. Are we live?
Yes.
All right. I think this is the first time in that we have got all the three analysts. So it's a full house today. So hope for more of the masala that has been going on. This week, I was looking at the results of the games, and I don't think there was major upsets, but there were a few close games that we came across, and we're going to take a look at each game in detail. We'll start off, guys, with the Pokeries Titans game, going from bottom up. If you're following on the Crick Club website, my analysis again, it was a game that should have been close, but I guess Pokeries. I actually voted for Titans because I feel like they've got the strength. With all the KRCC players going migrating to Detroit Titans, they have a lot of strength, but they haven't been able to show. And Pokeries, as they've always done, they've been strong throughout, and they are good starters. I've always seen Pokeries being a good starter and being able to carry the momentum through to the tournament. So it wasn't a shock surprise of Pokery's win, but the nature of how they won is probably questionable and puts more questions on Detroit Titans. KK, I'll let you go first.
I mean, I was predicting Pokeris to win this game. The sole reason being, Detroit Titans, it's not the full KRCC team, it's still a new unit. We have seen how that bonding was missing in the first game as well, when they were about 64 for 2, getting all out for about 90 odd runs. And now, in coming to this game, Pokeris batted first, close to 100 runs. Three folks got into double digits. In fact, it was four folks who got into the double digits, and that would usually put you around those 80 90 runs, but with a couple of 20s, they were able to make 97. But still, what bothers is no one has actually finished the innings for Pokeris. You see a couple zeros there, and I think in the last few overs they should have got a little more runs, given that the middle order already stabilized the innings. But when it comes to Titans batting, I think Pokeris were on top of the game right from the beginning. And last week, Vijay was mentioning rightly on Mayur playing ultra defensive innings, and even in this game, you see that if one of your opener is playing 5 overs, scoring 5 runs in a chase of, even if it's a 100-run chase, right? It actually picks up that run rate to a, from 4 it goes up to 5, 5.5. And when you have quick wickets lost, like in this game, right, you see poker is for what, losing wickets at regular intervals. They do not have, if I see, they do not have a partnership of more than 10 runs in the entire innings. And except for that, I think seventh wicket where they had a 10-run partnership. But that, it's a abysmal performance in this game from them. And except for their skipper, who at least made it to the double digits, the highest score was extras. And take out that 43 runs from a team which has been rated highly by the analysts, I think that's a very much a letdown by Detroit Titans.
Yeah, before I go to Viju, I think I concur with your analysis at the top. If you look at the top four batters, they all had under 20s, like apart from Amrit, who has a 57 strike rate, but there was a lot of balls being wasted, which I think kills the momentum. So I think Mayur, Vihar, I think they kind of are in the same mold. They kind of are people who can anchor the innings, but having both of them at the top and then having Saurabh and people like Saurabh, both the Saurabhs and Anil at the bottom, it doesn't make sense because you need someone at the top to carry some of the momentum into the middle and the late overs. So I think that's spot on. I think that's something which I would love to ask Satish when he's on the show. So Viju, your analysis.
I think you're speaking on mute, Vichu.
Sorry. Good evening to all the viewers, and I think thank you, Parthiv. But again, this comes back, Parthiv, and I think I discussed this with Vamsi last week. Mayur's very low strike rate, and we did say that our friend Gaba needs to pull him up and say that this is unacceptable when you play 5 overs and score 5 runs. That's just not the way to get it done. And if you thought last week was slow, I think Mayur came out and said, you know what, I will really show you what slow is. And he just took it to another level. And I honestly feel that, he needs to be demoted. He's a good, straight technical batsman, but, my feeling is they can send Anil Vilmoria up there, or even the left-hander Prajwal there. You will at least get some wides and some other options. And also, Anil doesn't waste any balls, so you would get a good opening start. So if you lose his wicket early, that's okay. You still have Mayur to come back and hold one end up if it comes down to it. But I feel that the moment 100 runs is on the board, Pokris have the bowling to defend it. So I think this was another disappointing outing by the Titans, especially after the tremendous fanfare with which we introduced them, saying that they're probably the best team of all the new teams. At this point, that's very debatable, because in 2 games they have shown us squat. In 2 games they have disappointed, and I thought by this game at least Gaba would have righted the ship, but that hasn't happened. Is it because he's not wanting to be judgmental and he's trying to give them more rope? But I think the rope has come to an end, because you're in Pool C and it's the pool of death, and it's not going to get easier when you go into some of the other games. So they'll have to do something about this and correct this issue. But since time is an issue, let's move on to the next game.
Yeah, the next game was, I think, was closer than and I basically voted for local boys, because I feel I'd seen them in the Spring Cup and one of the winter tournaments. They have a pretty good team, and I see them as an outside. I saw them as an outside challenger in this Group B. I haven't played them yet myself, but I see them, definitely one of the teams to watch out for, and could be, on the track which AR Phantoms are like gradually improving along the way. In this game, however, I think it was, both teams kind of showing their inexperience, a lot of extras conceded. Local boys, I felt, had hitmen checked by the 6th wicket. I think it was like, I see a 55 for 6. They had them checked, but then that 7th wicket partnership, which took them almost close to 100, I think that made a big difference to what Hitman eventually got. I think a lot of extras were conceded. I see Hitman, pretty much everyone tried their arm over. They have 8 bowlers used in this game, which kind of doesn't serve well for a team that is in their 2nd year. So by this time you would have had your 5 bowlers or 6 bowlers identified, but having 8 bowlers used in a game feels like they're still in the inexperience.
I think you're wrong on that one. Your local boys used 8 bowlers, not
Hitman.
Yes. Hitman used Hitman. I had this written down that it was great captaincy by Niranjan, because he used only 5 bowlers, and all his 5 bowlers bowled the full 5 overs. Go and look at it. He used only 5 overs, and all 5 bowled 5 full overs. So I thought it was some great captaincy. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. And but anyway, we'll get to it, this thing. But it's the local boys who showed their inexperience by using every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Correct. Yep. My bad. I was looking at the wrong scorecard. But yeah, I think if you look at both the scorecards, I think the extras played a major role. Almost 20 in each innings. KK, what do you get from this scorecard?
I think looking at the scorecard, right, there is a change in the captaincy for Hitman. Last year, they were led by Arun. This year, they have a new captain, Niranjan. I think he led from the front in the batting department. He played that the innings rode around him. He was the center of the innings, scored 37 runs, just 1 boundary in that, which means a lot of singles, a lot of strike rotation should have happened there. And in addition, a couple of contributions there, well helped by the extras, and of course the inexperience of local boys, and that put up the score at 113. But the point is, with these newer teams, the problem is usually with the bowling. And I think Hitman, as Viju mentioned again, and they used only 5 bowlers, and it was all down to how the captain wants to use those 5 bowlers, right? He has used Hitan very well. Hitan and Sajid, both of them played last year as well. And Philip was one of their prime bowlers last year as well. So I think they have got it sorted, and with only 5 bowlers, right? You do stick to a plan, but when you bring in your 6th bowler, that's where the question comes up. Whose quota should I use? Who is the 5th bowler? Who's the 5th bowler going to be, and whose overs should I fill as using the 6th bowler? All those questions come up, but in this game, they stuck to 5 bowlers, and somehow the team finished the job. Although the one concern they might have is conceding 21 extras in a score of 100. So if not for that, and of course local boys considered 18 extras, but with the hitman bowling lineup, I think they should have done much better. And that's one point. Other than that, hitman, I think they got 4 points under their belt, and local boys still baby steps.
Yeah, I mean, Partha, I just felt that the captaincy in this game was pretty good. I mean, at least I felt the captain knew what he wanted to do, and it's a new captain. But nevertheless, he did not miss a beat. He seems to have learned all the lessons well. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he led from the front, as KK said. I mean, he batted very well, and then when it came to the bowling, he bowled very well, used his bowlers well. I'm sure he would be happier if he had got the full 5 points, but nevertheless, his bowlers picked up and got the job done. You first want to get the win. My friend Philip Thomas, I saw a ball from him. He was moving the ball a mile. The batsman was beaten all ends up. He didn't get the wicket, but it just went right over the top of middle stump. So he was, I in fact asked him how in the world was he moving the ball that much? Because if he had told me the trick, I probably would have shared it with a couple of my players as to how he was doing that. But nevertheless, good win for Hitman. They are continuing from where they left off. Hopefully, they can go one step further, where they missed the playoffs last year by a whisker. And maybe this year they can make the playoffs.
It was 2016, if I remember it right, Viju, when I played Philip for the first time, and he got my wicket in the first encounter. And that time I was amazed by the amount of movement he got, the in-swing he got, and he still today does that.
Yeah, and Vamsi, you will be surprised. I think he's 46 or 47. Sorry to reveal his age, but he is up there in terms of age, but he still is very much capable as a bowler. He bowls very well for his age. Let's put it that way. And even now, to be able to bowl full 5 overs is pretty good, actually. So you should give him a shout out for that.
Yes, absolutely. But let's not mention the age factor. It only goes up every single day.
After 40, age is just a number. But to add to that, he's in great shape as well. So even though coupled with his bowling, I think he's in great shape. I would have never guessed 46 if somebody would ask me. But a great segue, just like how Hitmen have started from last year, I think Legends have basically started in the same manner, and it's the same 3 guys or the 2 guys who are taking the load. It's the Harish Yelamachali, Guru Naga, and Sai Pratap. They are the pillars for Legends last year as well. Their performances propelled them to top the group, going to the playoffs. Unfortunately, they lost in the first round of the playoffs, but they are still a very, very good team, and I expect them to go long ways. This was pretty much an expected win for Legends, and I think they executed really well. 119 was probably par score, or more than what Thunderbolts would have wanted to chase. And with the bowling lineup that they have, even though Harish didn't pick a lot of wickets, but I think throughout, if you see their bowling card, I think pretty much everyone contributed to the wickets as well. So a very comprehensive win, and the right start, which I think Satish and the team and the new captain Praveen would have wanted. So Legends, I think, move a step into the right direction.
But Parthiv, I see a cause of concern there, because at a 12 overs mark, Legends were 29 for 4, and I think the one point I actually observed is that Gautam, who has been Legends mainstay last year, has not yet come into form this year. In the first game, he had 3 of 14. This game, he has 3 of 15. But in both the games, one notable contribution is from Sai Pratap, who was trying to hold the innings together. You see, Harish scored bulk of the runs, 43. But what we fail to understand is you have 4 quick wickets, and in between you have Sai. He played that anchor role and let Harish play around him. And they were 29 in 12 overs, but then due to the acceleration in the second half, they scored about 90 in the next 13.
Right.
Few lusty blows from both, Harish as well as Guru. You see 2 sixes there, but Sai is the one who was actually playing that sheet anchor.
Yep.
When
And
it comes to,
yeah, you're spot on. If you look at their strike rates, pretty much everyone was in the hundreds. So basically, accelerated from there. But I had a question, since you've been part of this Legends lineup. Looking at Harish, looking at him at 6, do you think he's too maybe a couple of spots below what he should be?
as in, when it comes to the pressure games like your knockouts, last year we've seen what happened, bundling out for 53 or 54, right? I was part of that unit. But what happens is your rest of the team would not get as enough practice in the match time as you probably want. And this is a good thing happening for Legends, like, the rest of the team actually getting a go at the top, trying them in those games where you're playing lower ranked teams. When we look at the 2021 performance, right? Thunderbolts was a lower ranked. They didn't make it to the playoffs. So this is a game where Legends could have experimented. You see Praveen Arikatlaka again coming to the top. Last game he was playing at number 11. This game he's opening. So they're trying a lot of combinations. Sandeep Boppidi opening, and then you can try out these changes in the league games, and where you can give your team members a lot of opportunities. When you already have that confidence that with your bowling lineup you can defend those scores whatever you make.
Quick question, KK. Do you know why Venu did not bat? Because he's a pretty good batsman. Again, I do not know his present batting abilities. I'm talking about 8-10 years ago when he was the skipper of Lions. He used to open the batting and he pretty much could stay till the last man. I mean, he used to bat very well. And even in leather ball, I know that he used to be the captain and he used to lead from the front. So I was just curious, when you have that good a batsman, why he did not even bat.
I made a statement, don't mention the age, right? But in this case I have to talk about it because he is a tall guy, and playing lots of batting is actually also impacting him with the back issues. And also last year he has decided he wants to actually take a break from cricket because of the amount of the pressure the body takes when you play a 25-hour game. So I think that is one of the reasons, just protecting his body in the early season. So other than that, I don't see a reason why he should not bat.
But if that's the case, I was going to say, if that's the case, why would he want to bowl? Because that is more stressful than batting. I would say. But maybe it's the other point where they are experimenting in maybe in this game they didn't feel the need of having Venu bat. That's I can guess. Yeah, we just sorry.
You see, there are a couple of changes as well in the team, right? You see SLCC Guardians forming. A few of the team members joined that particular team. Then you lost. Last week we were talking about a player who went to Canton 11. I don't recall the name, but I played with him last year.
Anant Yoga.
Anant Yoga, he's not there, and Murali is not there, and you need to look for those bowling options. Last year they had YRT, Raviteja Yarlagada. He used to bowl, but now you have a depleted squad. Although you might add more people, it all depends on who is available, who can bowl. And I don't see Venu finishing his quota even in this game, right? He only bowled like 2 or 3 overs. If you can scroll down, Satya.
Yep, 3
he bowled 3 overs.
Yes. It's just workload management. I think it's just what the team needs. So
okay,
I would say let's see in the next games if he bowls his full quota.
Okay. Yeah, again, I thought it was the 3 amigos of Sai Pratap Sakineni and our left-hander
Harish.
What is the left-hander? Harish, yes. Harish and Guru Naga, who once again shined in this game. And I think all the effort which Guru Naga puts in the nets is really paying off because he's a much improved batsman than before. and also his bowling has been top notch. So as long as those 3-4 guys perform, I think Legends are always going to be the favorite to win almost every game, kind of a thing. And in this game, once again, I think they were sizzling. I thought we needed to give a shout out to Thunderbolts, because I saw that they only gave 9 extras in a 25-over game. I thought that was pretty impressive, because most teams will give in double digits, and that too in high double digits, but these guys gave only 9 extras. So they did all the right job, but I think it's on the batting end that they are a little lacking. So that got exposed in this game, but they're a pretty decent team, the Thunderbolts, but I think it's a good win for Legends.
Yep. Next game on our cards is, probably the best kept secret in DCL is out SLCC Guardians. Like I think pretty much everyone was looking forward to, who are the SLCC Guardians, like who are the players that have moved from Legends, what new players are coming, because I remember SLCC Guardians was probably the last team to send out their waivers to the committee. So they were trying to kind of put it under the wraps of who SLCC Guardians are and what's their strength like. But in this game, I think it was closer than GLCC would have wanted. But again, the GLCC veterans, the team that never ages, and it's no secret, GLCC is one of my favorite teams, and I see all the veterans still there, still contributing and still carrying that workload. You have Samish, you have Ashraf, again, Samish dominated with the ball. Pradeep Kalmat, both of them shared 7 wickets between them, and wasn't a great debut for our buddy Tejas. Got out on a 0 on a duck in the first over itself. Not what he wanted in the new team. But I see a lot of new faces as well in GLCC. You see Dilip Patel come back. I met him on the weekend. He's joined GLCC. So GLCC's definitely got a lot of firepower still. Apart from this, I know we have Nampreet and Manpreet and all those guys who are still in the wings. So I expect a lot of great performances and big scores from GLCC. This is just probably a start, but it was could have lost less wickets. 7 wickets was far too many for chasing 85 for a team like GLCC. Yep, Viju, I'll let you go first this time.
Nothing much, Parthiv. All I can say is that GLCC, I do not know if you realize this, they got the bonus on the last ball. Actually, they should have taken only 21.3 balls, but I think they scored 2 runs on the last ball, and that got them the bonus point, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure if Samish knew that he needed 2 runs to get the bonus. But whatever it is, he got the 2 runs on that last shot, and they got the bonus. But it is probably by the narrowest of margins that they got the bonus. And so Guardians will be probably looking at this and saying they had 1 point within their grasp and they didn't get it. But I'm just curious, did KK call our friend Tejas Shantagowda after this game?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that's 2 calls you made in 2 successive weeks.
Yes, I did call, but this time he didn't answer. He called me back later.
Okay. All right. Just out of curiosity, but nothing much to say on this game other than, we expected GLCC to win and win GLCC won.
I think GLCC played with a depleted squad in this game due to a few of their players being impacted by the pandemic. And Guardians, on the other hand, I think they started really well. New team, but their opening was outstanding. They had about 30 runs for the opening wicket, but then they lost 4 for 4, and that's a cause of concern. Actually, 8 for 6, 8 runs and 6 wickets. That's what I see. 30 for 0 to 38 for 6. And after that, a lot of repair by Giri and Sudha, their skipper, and I think he played exceptionally well. He got out in the last over, right from your 12th over, he played all the way to the end. But then, well helped by extras, they made 83. But GLCC, they again need to look at I've seen the first couple overs, and the running between the wickets was absolutely. Just look at it. There is one particular ball I saw. They just run 3/4 of the pitch and run back to the batting crease, but the runner hasn't moved an inch. So I think again, once they're the rest of the team comes in.
The runner obviously was Ashraf. So basically, Ashraf showed his age. Is that what you're saying?
He hasn't moved an inch.
Okay, all right.
But I have seen that. But the ball that got out, Hemant, and there were some good bowling performances. Especially Sandeep John is one bowler we can watch out for, and on the other tab, Satya, because this is for SLCC Guardians, right? Yep, you had Sandeep John picking a couple wickets, and then
you know what, Vamsi, I need to take it back, because when I saw the game, it was 21.4, and this one it showed 21.5, and I see GLCC got only 4 points here. But as soon as the game got over, I remember watching that scorecard, and I know that it was 21.4. And
what is it, 21.4, Viju, to get the bonus?
No. I'll tell you why. It should have been 21.3. But
okay,
GLCC on the 21.3, they didn't score it. On the 21.4, they scored 2 runs.
Okay.
All right. And so, Satya, can you go to the ball by ball? I'm curious, how it
because
became
usually in a 150 ball game, right, your 85% of the balls would end at 137. Sorry, 127.5. Yeah. Which is rounded off to 128, you're still at 21.2. So I don't understand what is 21.3 right from the beginning.
No, I'm looking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just checking while you guys are talking on the bonus cheat sheet, and it says 21.4. So yeah, I think they just missed out by a ball, I guess then.
Yeah, no, because it was 21.4, and then I saw that it was 2 runs. So I looked at it and I said, well, they got the bonus at that point. And now when I look at it, something got changed. Either the guys from Guardians went and said, hey, there was a dot ball on the 4th ball, so you didn't get the bonus. You get my point? But I know it was 21.4 because I was watching that game and I saw that it was 21.4 and they scored, or I was not watching the game looking at the scorecard, but right now when you pulled it up, I see it's 21.5, and then I said, well, I'm curious whether they got the bonus at that point, you see.
I think you mentioned it right, Viju, because I was talking to Ravitej Pujari, their opener, the Guardians opener. He is the keeper too. He mentioned that somehow the scorecard was not correctly updated, and then they had to remind GLCC about the 1 additional ball, and it was added.
Okay, so even though I was not there at the game, I still was able to catch that. Not bad.
Yep. If that's the case, that's a major blunder. And it's looking at who were on the crease. It was Samish and Pradeep, so both very experienced guys. So I wonder if this wasn't on their mind. So it's a major lapse by Samish. Normally very astute leader, but there's a major lapse from him, losing out one valuable.
Oh, well, again, that run which Mr. Ashraf did not run, where our friend ran 75% of the pitch. At least you would have got a single. You wouldn't have had to get a call from you.
Hey, go back to that, Satya, if you can, to the start of the innings. It was 0.3, I think, 3rd ball of the innings. And you would not be able to see it in this view. You have to go to YouTube. Just go, click on the YouTube link at the bottom. And that'll be a funny moment to watch,
Yes, Satya, by the way, can you make me admin or co-host or whatever it is? Because I would like to share some videos today.
Wow.
Yep, go to about half the innings, Satya. Yep. I think you went to the next video.
That grin doesn't makes me really curious now.
Which one?
Your grin, your talking about the videos accompanied with your grin sounds very, very makes me feel, what is it that Viju has on his sleeve now?
You want to see how Tejas got out?
Not how good Tejas got out, the run that he ran, for half the pitch. Just
the
just
man in
forward.
black is the man in black is Tejas, right?
Yes, he's on strike.
Yeah, tell
Forward
him
it by a minute or so. Yeah, come again.
Our friend Tejas has gained weight.
Oh yes. Yep, you can.
So
it has something to do with the streaming. I think it's not that great, but yes.
I think Satya's connection is very slow. I think that's the problem.
Might be, but
okay. Don't you think we are wasting too much time on this one?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the show.
Yeah. Here is the run, probably. No.
The next ball.
No.
Look at that. He goes all the way.
Says
hi to Ashraf. Yeah, okay. Says hi to Ashraf and comes back.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely, he lost a run. One run was stolen from his account by Mr. Ashraf there.
We have to move fast. So many games.
Yep. I think the next game is a no-brainer. But one question I had is I don't know how Satya does it, but somehow he ends up winning tosses against these new guys, new teams.
No, they did not show up by 8:45, so I climbed the toss.
Oh, okay. Either way, okay. I mean, there is, if you look at the history, probably some of the starting with Pokeries when they entered, Glads has always been the first game that the new boys face, and they somehow win the toss and hammer them to the dust. In this case,
Partha, we had only 10 players for this game, and we had only 10 players. We played with 10 players. You can see my name there because I'm the dummy player there. Because we had only 10 players in this game. I told you last week itself that Graj was struggling to get 11 players, and sometimes people might think that I'm, hyperventilating or making things up. But no, that is, usually I tell the straightforward truth, and we were struggling.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think in this game you could go with 9 and you could have still rolled them over. It was
you realize 25 overs you're giving them like a mini power play, and on top of the power play also, you see. So it's an uphill task. So going into the game, I told Satya this is a tricky game for you. Make sure you get at least to 125. Don't target too high a score because you don't have that. He had a lot of new players. Dwanit, new player. Azhar, new player. Amanjot, new player. And then Shivam, new player. And then Imran, yes, he has played for Brownstone, but first time he's playing for Glads. And so we had none of the usual things. But Fahim took the game away, I would say.
Yep, absolutely. I think he took the game away, and then everybody pretty much, just like how you say in Hindi, Ganga mein haath dhona, everyone basically just, piled in, on the sixes. If you look at the number of sixes, 11 sixes, if I'm counting right. Poor, Dhairya 11, new kids on the block. I'm pretty sure they would have wanted to face somebody of a less stature than Glads. Unfortunately, they ran into Glads the first game, but I'm hoping that they don't lose hope, because as history states, people who have been hammered by Glads have eventually turned out to be finalists and semi-finalists. Look at Pokeries, if you look at Rising Stars, all those teams have fared well. So I'm hoping that Dhairya also has keeps their hopes alive, and there are other teams and other games still in the group, so they'll probably need to bounce back.
And one thing I noticed is Viju and Satya, you managed to grab Shivam, into your squad. You added Shivam Kasangaraf. He used to play for other teams, and he was one of the premier bowlers. And how do you do that?
Okay, so here is you want the scoop and the full story. All right, here's the actual story. So what happened is that we were looking for a bowler. You know, the Glad's bowling is not up to the mark where I would like it to be. So we have been always looking for a left-handed bowler, but it's not like we went and approached Shivam or anything like that, or tried to steal him from somebody. But Ronak U. Patel called me and said, "Hey, I heard that Shivam is looking for a new team. All right, and are you guys? Do you really want a new bowler?" I said, "Which Shivam are we talking about? Are we talking about the Shivam from Canton 11? Because that's the only Shivam that I know of, or at least which has caught my eye." So I said, and I say, "Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, I was told that he's available. Viju, I know him. He plays with me in Ford and things like that. He's a good bowler and he's capable batsman." I said, "No, I know he's a good bowler because we played Canton 11 last year, the very first game. And I can tell you the sequence of events. Very first ball, he bowled to Aditya Bamaraju, beat him. Second ball, and Aditya Bamaraju, he's like Sehwag. He tries to go after the bowler. He doesn't like a bowler dominating him. Second ball, same effect. Again, Bamaraju tries to hit it out of the park, misses it completely. At that point, if I was there, I would have walked right into the pitch and I would have taken Aditya aside and said, you know what? Take it easy. Just play him out. He's got the pace. Don't go for the extravagant shot. Live to play another day. But Satya doesn't say anything. Third ball, same effect. Fourth ball, same effect. Fifth ball, off stump goes three feet out. And we were 0 for 1. So at that time itself, I knew this guy is a very capable bowler, but I don't know him from Adam. All right. So, but then this information came, and then we asked Satya to contact him, but Ronak tried to call Satya and he couldn't get a hold of Satya. So guess what, KK? I picked up the phone, got Shivam's number. I called him directly and I said, "Hey, I heard you are looking for a new team. If it is okay with you, we would love to have you." And I felt it was a win-win situation because we are weak on the bowling side and he would definitely fill a 5-over slot on the bowling end. And on the batting end, for him, he was playing on a team where oftentimes he doesn't have enough runs to defend. You see, if you look at Canton 11 last game also, they scored 72, 73 odd. And for a bowler, you don't have the luxury of having too many runs to defend. Now you're coming on a team where, well, the Glad's batting is probably the best batting in DCL. And what I would say is, when he sees 198 on the board, he knows he can do all kinds of experimentation if he wants to experiment. So it was a fortunate set of events. So you're asking me, did we do something extraordinary? No. All we heard was that he was looking for a new team. And when I heard it, it was around 4 in.m. for me. I picked up the phone and called him. And right away called him and right there got him on the spot. So sometimes people wonder, hey, how do Glads get to this thing? It's more like, we don't wait for n number of days or something. If something comes, we act on it immediately. That's it. And we do whatever is necessary, whether it is Satya or me or whoever it is. And I wouldn't care what the time of the day is. I would still pick up that phone and call. And if it makes sense for both sides, then we'll move on. But in this game, he had a very good opening debut for Glads, I would say. So, and on top of that, he batted very well. So I was very happy with the outcome as such. But yeah, I think the Glads guys performed well. Yeah, go ahead.
I played with Shivam during his first year with T-ball. It was 2 years back, 2020 pandemic year. And I think he was still trying to get a hold of the T-ball, but now I think he's a very, very improved bowler.
Yep.
Guys, tryouts, Dynamites.
So Satya, did you make me a co-host?
What is it this time?
No, I'm just
video
curious.
is done.
More penguins?
Penguins video is what Satya has. So I was just curious whether Satya made me a co-host.
I made it.
Okay. I was just... No, go ahead with your this thing and then I'll finish up.
Yeah, I was going to say this game. If it was last year, it would have been a very close contest. This year, I think, as we have all stated, Dynamites are definitely below par from what they had achieved last year, and Troy Hawks are definitely on the rise. A lot of great wins last year. They're continuing it this year. Second win in a row. Another one which I think they would be proud of. And in this game, I think the lower middle order is what the Troy Hawks propelled them to 106. I think they had a very poor start. If you look at the fall of wickets, I think they lost the first 5 wickets under 20 odd runs. Yeah, 19. So they were pretty. I mean, Dynamites had the upper hand going in the first 8 or 9 overs, but then the middle order is where between Sashidhar and Kaushik, those guys pulled it back together. Kaushik played almost a blinder with a 141 strike rate. Got the I think the last power, the batting power play really worked out for them. And once they had scored 100 plus, I think Dynamites were definitely under pressure. And even though they were still in the chase, but I think they fell short, of that 15-20 runs, which I think made the difference between, what Kaushik and Sashidhar and Chaitanya pulled together in the last few overs.
Yep. One question I had is, in the year 2019, Kaushik scored close to 150 or 160 runs for Troy Hawks playing at the top of the order. And this game, he plays at number 9. And he doesn't get that enough opportunity to actually, do what he wants to do. And yes, Troy Hawks has added Natraj and Shashi last year. They've added, Aman and also Sharad this year, 2 lefties, capable lefties. But what is your best player doing at number 9? And what is Santosh doing at number 11? Because he doesn't bowl. He's playing at a number 11 position. So I don't see a point, And I see Troy Hawks also experimented with Rakesh. He's one of their new players. They changed the opening combinations in this game. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But what it also does is it puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the team. Maybe they wanted to use his power hitting for the power play, but what it did was first over 1 for 1, and then you go on the defensive at 6 overs, you're 14 for 1, and you lose your second wicket there. But Dynamics, I think they did a great job restricting Troy Hawks in the first 15, 16 overs. But then Chaitanya Bobili, he's a good player. Then you have Kaushik, then you have Shashi. They all were able to pull the score above 100. But when it comes to Dynamite's batting, at one point, they even stood a chance. If you can go to that tab, right, Satya? Yep. They were at one time 4 for 64, 4 for 65. You have 9 overs, you need 35, 36 runs, one big over, 10, 15 runs over, and you would have the game in your bag. But then again, with the ball, Abhilash, he did major damage in 1 over. He picked up 2 wickets, and he comes back and picks 2 more wickets. It was a good outing for Troy Hawks in the bowling department as well. But I don't understand using your fifth. 3 folks for your 5th bowling option. You have Rohit Reddy, who bowled 2 overs, picked up a wicket for 7 runs, didn't finish the quota. Rakesh picking up 3 wickets in 4 overs, don't finish the quota. Then you have 3 new guys bowling 2 overs, not getting wickets between them. So I think it's a point to ponder. It's not just for this particular game, right? For the rest of the teams as well. You have Rakesh in this innings is picking up 3 wickets for 16 in 4 overs, right? He's one in your top 2 bowlers in this game. He doesn't get his 5th over. That's a bit surprising.
Yeah, I mean, KK, that reminds me, in the previous game, in the Legends game, I saw Narne bowled only 1 over. Could it be that some of these guys, maybe heat gets to them or injury gets to them? That may be a reason, possible reason. I'm not sure. But again, 2 overs and 7 runs. Rohit Reddy probably deserved 3 more overs or 2 more overs at least. And so, but again, I think if I had to fault anything, it's as you rightly said, I felt Kaushik is coming way too down. He's too good a batsman to be coming that low down. He should be probably promoting himself. Probably when he's the skipper, he feels, I need to push other people and try to get them to do it. And, I need to be inclusive. But this is about winning the game, and you are one of the better players in that team, not just in that team, in the league itself. So definitely he should be batting much higher than where he's batting. Coming to the Dynamites.
The same thing happened with Satish Gaba and his team as well, right? He opened the games for KRCC last year. This year he is waiting for 4 wickets to fall within those 7-8 overs, and then he comes to the crease. Why not go open, stop those wickets from falling in the first place?
Yeah, I think that's a trend which I've seen, in the first 2 or 3 games happen, is people are trying experimenting, especially when they've acquired a bunch of new players, is to get them try them out. And they have their experienced players which they know are going to eventually kind of adapt, but they want to kind of experiment. So you see a lot of these scorecards which are kind of inverted. People who you would expect to go above are coming below the order, and much lower.
Yeah, I mean, I again, for Dynamites, I think Vijay Kumar Gabriel is probably the find of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first season he's playing for in DCL? But I think that's the find of the season for Dynamites. Now they have definitely done a fantastic job. Yeah, it looks like he played contenders last year, but other than that, I don't remember seeing his name before. So that's the question why I asked that question. But obviously, 2 games in a row he has performed, and he's doing a great job. KK, I wanted to ask you a question. In the White House, you know that there is a red phone, right?
Yes.
You know there's a red phone. The president has a red phone, all right? I was told that our friend Parthiv Mehta has a similar red phone with a direct line to Elon Musk. All I know is I need Parthiv Mehta to pick up that phone and call Elon Musk and arrange a SpaceX rocket, because I need this rocket to go to Mars, because Musk has been talking about sending people to Mars and things like that. Because I heard the Mars population increased by 1 and the Earth population decreased by 1. And you'll ask me, who is this great person who landed on Earth? Well, our friend Vijay Shanmugam, he had high hopes before the season, but, then we know that our Titans guys led by Gaba, they pretty much, Dynamites was like the Titanic, the Titanic, when it was formed, they said that ship was unsinkable, that there was no way that ship can sink. And the next thing you know, when it goes and hits an iceberg and it sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Well, that's pretty much what happened to the Dynamites, because they reached the semifinals, and here they are on cloud 9. And the next thing you know, Gaba forms Titans, and whatever happened to the Titanic, well, that's exactly what happened to our friends from Dynamites, and pretty much 5 or 6 or 7 of their players were gone. But I wanted to share a video as to our friend Mayur Narasimhan, because remember, I shared with you last week that Mayur Narasimhan had taken this bet with me that Dynamites are making the playoffs. Well, after the first game, he said, well, one summer swallow drink and things like that. He sent me a text that, it's not all over. Now the second game has happened, and once again, 0 points, all right? And so I wanted to share a video of what I think is our friend Vijay Shanmugam, when he heard about Dynamites reaching playoffs, what necessarily went through his mind, kind of a thing. And that's exactly what I wanted to share. So give me a minute. Let me share that to you. Are you guys able to see my screen by chance?
No, not yet.
But let me tell you something, I saw Avinash Shander on the Dynamites roster. He has not batted, he has not bowled, and he is better than a lot of players there. And I don't understand why Vijay has not utilized him. Or is it just I would say a matter of qualifying them? Are they just entering the 12th man in there so that they can qualify folks? Probably Parthiv, you can find more details about it.
I probably have to ask him about it. Yeah.
Because he opens the bowling for Dynamites in Michigan Cup, and then he bats way up the order. He has not come into bat, even though he's a left-hander. He's a technically good batsman, and you need partnerships. Nothing of such happened. So Maybe he has just come to the ground, left for another game.
Yeah, I know they've been struggling for the players and getting even last game. I think when I talked to them, they said they didn't have all the 11, so they are struggling with some of the players.
So,
Are you sharing?
how do I do this? I'm trying to.
There is
At the
a
bottom of the
figure this out.
screen,
bottom
at the
of
bottom of the screen, you have share screen as one of the options.
Yeah, so I did do that.
You have to select which screen you need to share and hit share.
Stop one. Let's see.
Select the first one, it will share your whole desktop.
Okay, while Viju is figuring it out, I want to maybe leave a trivia for people so that they can answer while they're looking at the show.
Trying to share and you are asking me to share.
No. I have another one. This is a little different. I have two for this show. So
Can we participate, Parthiv? Can we take first tips?
Yeah, go ahead. So this is a cricketer in DCL. In 2018, he's achieved a rare feat of having played 13 games with 12 not outs and an average of 45 for the season and a strike rate of 65 or 64.29 to be precise. And then the second clue is in the same year, he got 24 wickets and was the second highest wicket taker. So without going to the site, let's see if you can guess that player.
Interesting.
Let's see what if people who are watching our show take a crack at this. This is something which I had to dig into DCL records, try to figure out some really odd
Guys,
stats.
put in the comments, guys, please.
I'm trying to remember it, recall it, Parthiv, because 2018 DCL night, which actually happened in 2019, February of 2019, I was hosting that. I am sure I might have read out the names.
Yeah, I mean, clue number 3 is, he didn't get any major awards, but this was a unique stats, like 13 innings, 12 not outs with an average of 45. And another clue is that he just had one innings that actually got, because of that he had an average, but otherwise he had all not outs. Wow. So it was very unique that this kind of thing has happened in DCL. So I was astonished as well, somebody having that.
Did you any help?
Yeah, I'm unable to do it, guys. So
okay, you send it to me through WhatsApp. I will share it.
All right.
Go to the next one. So.
All right, you guys carry on. I'll try to send it to Satya.
And I'll give you one more clue on that, Parthiv.
You found
the team made it to the playoffs.
You are asking me or are you telling me?
I'm giving you another clue saying that the team made it to the playoffs. His team made it to the playoffs.
Okay, so you figured out the answer?
No, I didn't. But the number of games did give me that additional clue. 13 games, right?
Yes. That's true. You can if you followed DCL, yes, you would have figured out that.
Guys, 5 minutes. You have so many games to cover. Can you make
it? Let's go to the next game, guys. Yep. The next game, I think this was definitely one which I was waiting to see, like what's the makeup of the FCC team with the bulk of Falcon guys leaving. I see that the majority of FCC guys are still there. You have Prabhu, you have Teju, you have Shashank. All those guys are still there, and some of the newer guys. But a very strong statement made by FCC starting in the first game, as compared to Patriots, which aren't really being able to match some of their exploits last year. But albeit, this was against Motor City, which is kind of a new team, a new kid on the block. But I see here that the top order made all the difference. Some big scores by Ashwant and Prateek, and then Teju himself, 4 hits, 4 big 6s. So that made a lot of difference to get a score of 150. And once they had 150, I think for the inexperienced side like Motor City, I think it was too much, too big a mountain to climb. KK,
Yep.
go ahead.
Agreed, Parthiv. And this game, I think Teju had a great outing. He hit 4 maximums in this innings, but credit to Ashwant and Prateek because they started very well. 8 overs, 39, a solid start, and then after that, the rest of the team can just play freely around them, right? And with already runs on the board, it gives more confidence to go for those big hits. But I want to tell a small story. It will be quick, Satya. Teju and me, we made DCL debut on the same day for the same team, playing for FCC in 2015. And the first ball which Teju faced in DCL was hit for a 6. And it's been 7 good years, and he has not hit another 6. And this game, he hits 4 6s.
Wow, that is great stat.
Yep. And but I think Motor City has been no match to FCC in this game. They were always behind in the game. Although they made 100 runs, I think they figured out it very quickly in the innings that they would not be able to chase it because I see their batsmen playing slow. Even in the 20th over, they're at 74, and they try to get as much practice as possible. And one big concern for FCC is extras, 24 extras, probably the highest in the week.
Yep, I think both teams almost negated that. I think both teams had like in the high 20s. So, and we'll give them the benefit of this is the first week, so still rust on the with the bowlers. So, I'm
time
sure
to wake up from the slumber.
Right. Yep. So that happens. First couple of games you always have that situation.
FCC is going to play Raptors next, so if you go with the same kind of a bowling, you will get whacked.
Yeah. Vijay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so are you able to see the screen now?
No, we are still seeing Satya's.
You're still seeing Satya's.
Now, I think Satya stopped sharing. So,
are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, now we have the video.
Okay, hold on.
Diddly poo and playoffs.
So, are you able to hear it?
No, the audio isn't coming through.
Can you guys hear or no?
Yeah, we can see it, but I don't think. Do you have your audio on?
Yeah. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't.
Can you hear it?
We sucked.
Yep.
The second half, we sucked. We couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball and went down and got points, we got our ass totally kicked the second half. That's what it boiled down to. I don't know. All I know is we threw 4 interceptions and fumbled once. 1 interception they returned for a touchdown. 3 others were in our end of the field where they scored points. That's all I know. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the thing. But you get the gist of it. Our friend Mayur wants to make playoffs, but I'm not sure so much about making playoffs because Vijay Shanmugam is like, playoffs? What are you talking about? And so all I know is ever since the first game, I have not heard from the great Mayur Narasimhan. My only logical reasoning is he has probably landed in Mars. And so if he has landed in Mars, we need to bring him back from Mars. And that's where I'm seeking Parthiv Mehta's help so that he can pick up that red phone and call Elon Musk so that he can launch his SpaceX rocket down to Mars and get Mayur Narasimhan back. Because playoffs, that's not happening, baby. It's not happening. All right. At least as of right now, it's not happening. Now, Vijay Shanmugam knows that very well. And if he doesn't know it, he's probably still boozing a little too much. So let's hope that Shanmugam and Dynamites can change things around. But I didn't see Mayur in this game also. So that's what makes me wonder what happened to Mayur. But let's move on.
Yep. I think the next game was the one which I had looked for. I mean, I had voted for Vikram Golamari as the game changer of the week. I felt like, coming into a new team playing against FCC Agni, who's been the team has been here for a while, albeit not in the top ranks. But for a new team, for a new debutant to come in at the top order, score 47 in quick time, almost 90% strike rate. And I think he bowled also. I think he got a couple of wickets. So he, all in all, I think he dominated. 5 wickets. I'm sorry, with a hat trick. So that was an outstanding performance for somebody. And I'm not sure whether this guy also has played in DCL before, unless I haven't heard his name before. But my circle and my social circle is pretty small in cricket. Oh, he has. So he has played last year, but wasn't as great as the start of this year. But definitely he started with a bang, and his sole contribution has put Hawks past FCC. If you take him out, his contribution out, it would have been a very tough game.
Agreed, Parthiv. You summarized it well, but what we have to notice, this was Agni's game in the bag at one point, and Vikram took a hat trick in 1 over, and I think it changed the complexion of the game completely. And even though Arun and Arjun played for a while, they were having a little partnership, but you see all those zeros and 3 wickets in 3 balls, that just broke the backbone of that innings. And I think the Agni glory days are done with when Sai, Nitin and the team and the rest of the players left Agni, they formed Patriots. And ever since then, we're trying to find more players to fit into the teams. But I've spoken to one of the guys in the team. I don't want to mention their names, but I think what's wrong within the team is their skipper Ramesh is way too conservative, and he wants to give bowling to every single person who comes there to play, right? So you see how many bowlers have Agni used. And we know Arun is playing after a long gap, but 5 overs for 28 without wickets, and still you're going 5 overs for 28, and you're not using your rest of the bowlers, not pretty much as you want. You see 5 bowlers there again.
Yeah.
But it was Agni's game to lose. They lost it.
I don't know. When I saw this game, it was very difficult to decide the game changer of the week, but this guy definitely made his case. Golamari was on fire. That's what he reminded me of a baby Bikini. I don't know if you guys have heard of that guy. Ever heard of a baby Bikini?
No.
There's a guy called a baby Bikini. All right. He's the first African runner to win the marathon. He won it Olympic gold in 1960, if I'm not mistaken. But what makes it most incredible is when he went to race, Adidas had just a very few sneakers at that time, and none of the sneakers fit his shoe. So what made this incredible is this man ran on barefoot and won the marathon. And that was the 1960 Olympic champion. And if you ask me, Golamari had very little support in this game. Sure, he got support from Amarnath with his 15 runs, but he pretty much single-handedly torpedoed FCC Agni. He was the man on fire. If you ask me, he was the man in this game. So let's give out a shout out to Golamari for his absolutely incredible performance. He deserves all the credit. He single-handedly won the game for Hawks in this one. So all credit to Hawks. And Agni, as our friend Vamsi said, they need to do some soul searching, because you go to play the game not to give everybody opportunity, but to win the game. Because if you lose the game and everybody got an opportunity, you wasted everybody's time. So at least if you win the game, at least you have the satisfaction that you won the game. So having said that, let's move on to the next game.
Yeah, I think next game, because of lack of time, we can actually move ahead.
Oh, is it? I don't think so. It is Strikers versus KRCC, right? I mean, especially in a game which had so much promise. And our friend Parthiv Mehta even had Strikers winning that game. And Vamsi, remember, when we had Hari Parankusam on the game, we told him, hey, if you want Blueprint to beat KRCC, you need to negate the first 2 overs of Oni. But, our friend Parthu Mehta was not there. He was busy playing a practice game. If he had paid attention to what we were saying about the wisdom that you need to negate the first 2 overs, he would have sent the right people to handle Oni's first 2 overs. Parankusam, he took this thing, 7 runs in 26 balls. It doesn't matter. He negated Oni, and that is it. But look at what the damage which Oni has done. 3 overs he bowled. He gave 5 runs. He took 5 wickets. He torpedoed strikers, if you ask me. And, I don't know if you saw the movie Taken. Liam Neeson in Taken says, you better let my daughter go. And that'll be the end of it. If you do not let her go, I'm going to look you up and I'm going to pursue you. And if you don't look out, I'm going to find you and I will kill you. That's exactly what Oni did in this game. He was a one-man killing machine. He's their best player by a country mile. And he just stamped his class of authority on this game. And if you look at it, 3 overs, 5 runs, 5 wickets. And out of that 5 runs which he gave, 3 runs were wides. So he gave only 2 runs off the bat. And if you ask me, those who run from cops, they say that he has got running away speed, cop speed. You see, he runs in with running away from the cops kind of speed and bowls even faster. You need a technically correct batsman, and strikers needed probably Parthiv to open the batting, and he had to go with the mindset that he's just going to play him out. And if he couldn't go there, he probably had to find somebody else on his team who can negate the pace of Oni and limit the damage, because right at the very first over, very first ball, Amit Patel is gone. And, it was, 1 for 0, 2 for 1, 3 for 2. It was disaster. And, Parthu stood for some time, but in the end, if you look at it, not even one single digit and 11 wides, that's the only double digits, this thing. It was a disaster of a game, if you ask me. But it was Oni beating strikers rather than, if you ask me, KRCC beating strikers. But if you have KRCC, and I think Yogesh played this game, and I think the right decision is always to open the bowling with Oni. If he can get through in that first 2 overs, he's breathing fire. He does the damage. Very soon, you see 4 or 5 wickets have fallen. The opposition is on the back foot. There are very few people like Oni who has that kind of pace and that kind of ability. And when you have that kind of ability, you better use it. And I think they did the right thing. But in the previous game, Parankusam was able to negate the Oni effect. So unless you have, there are very few players in the league who are got that capacity. I mean, I think strikers, Parthiv has that ability. But in Bulls, Gino James has that ability. I think Gaba's team, that Mayur guy, definitely I would use him in a game like this because he's a technically correct batsman. And so there are a few guys who have that ability, but we probably have to use that to negate Oni's fire and brimstone effects, which he brings into the game. That's pretty much it for this game.
Agreed. And, this game was contested for 82 minutes. And probably, Parthiv, if this game doesn't, if there are no other games that end sooner, you can use this as a trivia question next year. What's the shortest game of 2022?
Yeah, I think that is true. We spent more time in the car than on the cricket ground because we traveled all the way. This game was in Rochester, so.
In all honesty, this is just a game to forget and just move on. Because
exactly.
You came across a man who was on fire.
Yeah, but to give a shout out, to give a shout out to KRCC, I think they bowled really well. I think everything that we wanted, we got on a platter. Like we won the toss, elected to bat, had our full strength. So there is absolutely no excuses for this defeat. I couldn't find anything apart from we just didn't apply ourselves and we just couldn't. Like you said, we just couldn't see off, the threat, and then basically take charge and lay the platform to get a decent score. But nevertheless, it's something that we'll have to digest, bounce back, and fortunately we have 2 weeks break, so we have time to kind of course correct.
Yeah, I want to mention.
Are you saying, Parthu, are you saying this is the best unit you have at your disposal?
Yes, this is pretty much close to. I mean, apart from maybe a couple of guys who are still not here yet.
Where is the gentleman who did the damage against us in the playoffs last year?
Oh, he's back in India. That's he's left Michigan. He was there for a couple.
Dude, that was his last game.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his last game, is it? Oh, okay. He was there just to be a thorn in my flesh. All right, I get that.
Yeah, but he still remembers, and he's still in our group. But yes, yeah, unfortunately, his contract ended, and he had to leave for India.
Okay, all right.
And I actually wanted to make a point here. I don't want to give the entire credit to Yogesh for this win because their players actually put their heart out. But having a skipper on the team does make a lot of difference. And that is what I say to a lot of captains as well. When you want to lead the team, be it from the ground.
Yep.
Because once you're outside the fence, the players would be completely in a different zone, and it's very hard to get into those shoes and lead the team.
Yep.
Yeah, but give credit to Yogesh. He pressed all the right buttons. So
Yep,
definitely.
he did.
Yep. The next game of the week was, I think, the closest game of the week. Knights versus Spartans. Spartans, kind of rebranded from Detroit Blues. Knights, I think they have they have a new team, but I see a few folks who have been there. I think they were part of the Kings 11 setup. Arjun Chittamani, and I think there was one other one who Sriram Mutuneni. I think I remember a couple of names at least. So they have been in DCL for quite a while. But this game was a classic DCL contest. The low 70-80 scores where ball dominates the back, and survival is probably the mode of batting. So a lot of close low scores kind of string together to kind of get to the 80, and then kind of they were able to get just past it. Spartans were just able to cross the line. But again, here I think the culprit for Spartans, they could have avoided a lot of like wides. I see 15 extras here as well in a low scoring game for and both teams. I mean 12 and 15, so they kind of negated each other. But again, the wides playing a big role here itself. So we see that common theme going across. But the star of the game was Khalil Sayed. Absolutely great figures. Probably if not the best, I think one of the top. It would be in the top 5 overs, 6 runs, 6 wickets. Still wasn't enough to get the Knights the win. Spartan just crossed the line.
Yes, Parthav. In fact, when I saw the result of this game, what struck my mind? Probably I should go buy a lottery ticket today. Yes, when I saw Spartans at 38 for 8, I thought, okay, then there comes the first wrong prediction of the week. But after an hour, I check and they are over the line, and all 5 points to them. But you rightly mentioned Khalid Syed, 6 for 6, probably one of the best bowling performances of the season so far. But enough credit to the Spartans player Abhishek, right? Because he picked up a wicket, and then chasing, you're chasing, you need about 45 more runs. You only have 2 more wickets. You scored 33 out of 35, 94, 95 strike rate. Kudos to him. Probably the contender for the game changer of the week, but he was just beaten by another phenomenal performance by Vikram.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally thought that Spartans Abhishek Katiwat really won the game because I do not know. Do you guys know the biggest comeback in NFL history? No? All right. Let me give you an education on NFL history. Trailing 35-3. It is the third quarter. Houston Oilers are leading against Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo Bills' starting quarterback was Jim Kelly, who went to 4 straight Super Bowls. So he's a great quarterback. Their starting running back was Thurman Thomas, who considered himself the Michael Jordan of football. And both those guys are out, injured and out. At this point, guys in Buffalo, they are already leaving the stadium because the team is so hopelessly behind. Trailing 35-3, the backup quarterback is Frank Reich. He comes into the game and he engineers the biggest comeback ever in the history of NFL and wins them the game. And when I saw this, I thought Abhishek Singh Katewar did exactly what Frank Reich did in the greatest comeback in NFL history, because this team was dead. As Vamsi said, he thought that he was going to get the first wrong prediction of the day. But then, long behold, Spartans not only won, they also got the bonus point. And all credit to Abhishek Singh Katewar. And if you ask me, after that tremendous performance by that opening bowler for Knights, Khalil Syed, taking 6 wickets, it's not too often that your team loses. And that too for 6 runs in 5 overs. That is one terrific performance, and still end up on the losing side. Ouch, that has got to hurt. I mean, I really feel for him, but I think Abhishek Singh Katewar took away the game from Knights. So all credit to Spartans. Congrats, and let's move on.
Well, the next game of the week was our showcase game of the week. Sterling Strikers taking on Indus Thunders, and all our predictions went wrong. We were all on Sterling Strikers taking on, beating the defending champions. And one thing I noticed was, I think Shrikant may have used our show to kind of give a little little of a teaser to Sterling Strikers, or maybe even give them the wrong information. But I see Dinesh playing in this game, when in fact Shrikant, I remember, said Dinesh and Bangera are not going to play this game. So that was a battle in itself. 2 captains talking and not giving up a lot of, maybe not even the right information. But in this case, I think Dinesh definitely made a huge impact. His 3 wickets, and we all know his first few overs are the ones which are the most the ones which you need to keep out of. He did the damage, but I think Sterling Strikers were a few runs short. The 89 wasn't. I like when I saw the score, I was cringing. Like, I don't think that's going to be enough for Thunders. Even though Thunders didn't have Praveen Bangera, I think they have enough batting to get them these 90 runs. And my favorite batsman in the Thunders team, like Manoj Singh, I think he's the most underrated. I don't think we call him out enough times, but he, along with Dinesh, I think those 2 people are the backbone of the Thunders team. One with the ball, I mean, both of them actually bowl and bat, but I think Dinesh with the ball and Manoj with the bat, I think they contribute significantly to Thunders and their victory campaign.
Arthur, I shared a video with you. If you would be kind enough to share it while KK runs his analysis, because I wanted the sound to come out, and I think when Satya plays it, the sound doesn't come out.
Oh, you sent it to my WhatsApp?
I sent it in our group, so if you can just pull it up. But meanwhile, KK, go ahead with your analysis.
Yeah. In this game, I think Sterling Strikers had a very, very bad start to begin with. Losing their opener Ali Abbas for 0. Then Syed Ahmed comes at 1 drop. He gets out for 0. But good repair work done by Hassan and Raza. They were waiting for the overs. They're playing out a few overs. Then at the end, 2 sixes by Syed Mustabab got them to at least 89. Because the difference that I see between Thunders and Sterling Strikers is that for Thunders you have Manoj Singh, and for Sterling Strikers you have Ali Abbas, who has got a 90 in the previous game. But the difference was Ali got out for 0, whereas Manoj Singh on the other end, he was able to take Indus to victory. That's the big difference I see in this particular game. But other than that, I think they were very evenly balanced. They had Indus had Dinesh, Sterling Strikers had Raza Ali, but Raza Ali's final over was taken for a beating. I think 13 or 12 or 13 runs came out in that particular over. But I want to mention one specific over, the 22nd over bowled by one of the Sterling Strikers bowlers. Can you go to the other tab, Satya? I believe other tab.
Yeah, I think it was.
Saad Farooq. It was Saad Farooq. He bowls 5 dots in a row to Chetan, and the last ball was taken for a 6, but that over was a treat to watch. The game is online in case someone wants to watch it. Go watch the 22nd over.
Arthur, you have the video.
I'm ready to share. Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and share that.
Oh, Satya, are you sharing?
No.
It tells me host has
No.
disabled.
Satya, can you just give the control to Parthiv?
Yep. Can you enable it? It says the host has disabled. Okay, I see now. Can you guys see my screen?
Nope.
Okay, wait. How about now?
What? No, not yet. Okay, so the struggle was not just me. All right, that's good to know.
It's real.
See, that big smile on Viju's face.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
not just
thought
me.
I would. All right, let's watch this. You're not. Yep.
Right, keep it short, but keep it informative. All right, we will start though with last Monday night's meltdown in the desert. Now, after leading 23-3 late in the third quarter, the Chicago Bears picked up not one, but 2 defensive touchdowns, bringing them within 6 points with under 4 minutes left in the game. Devin Hester had an 83-yard punt return for a score, and all that was left for the Cardinals to be the Cardinals was a missed field goal at the end. Of course, Neil Rackers didn't disappoint, hooking this 40-yarder, the second straight game that he's missed. Denny Green?
The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their but they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
You guys were entertained by that, weren't you?
That's good TV.
All right, here's our first question in rapid fire. Can the Cardinals recover from a loss like that?
Well, I think they can. I'm serious. I think they can. We are who we think we are.
You just crown them.
You can do it, Jimmy.
Crown them.
Crown them if you want them. I don't care.
I think they can because
shut up.
They got a good quarterback.
Well, speaking of that good quarterback.
All right, Parthiv.
Well, good.
That's good enough. Do you guys know who is Do Kwon? Including Satish Belamukunda. Any of you know who Do Kwon is?
No.
Nobody knows who Do Kwon is? Have you guys heard of Luna Coin? Luna Coin. Nobody has heard of Luna Coin. Nobody has heard of Luna. You're not a crypto fan? So you guys haven't heard of Luna Coin also?
You're talking about the Luna coin, LUNA, the one which
LUNA,
dropped substantially by about 99% last week.
Yeah, it is now close to zero. About a month ago, it was one Luna coin was $119. And right now it's close to zero, or it is zero effectively. Well, Do Kwon is the guy who invented the Luna coin, all right? And now, there was the other guy, a guy who lost $2.3 million is pretty much hunting for Do Kwon to find out where he is. Well, you saw Denny Green. He said the Bears are who we thought they were. Let me tell you about the DCL analysts. We are not who we thought we are. We are not who we thought we are. Indus is who we thought they were. They are the champions. But let me tell you, my friends, all 4 of us are useless. We went on the Dynamites bandwagon 1 week ago, all 4 of us. We said Dynamites was going to win, and we had mud thrown on our face. Then we had our own Do Kwon, which is the great Mansab Butt. He came on the show and he introduced sterling strikers and he said, how great they are and so vastly improved. And he was so confident. Man, I'm going to, where was it? Canada, is it? He was going to Canada. And you know what? I have buddies, who's this? Ali Abbas and Raza Ali. And, you have Saad, who's bowling and taking 5 wickets apiece, and they had Syed, and they had who was the other guy? They had another good batsman there, but anyway, his name is not coming to my mind right now. But they have a lot of
Hyder Bhatti.
Haider Bhatti, and then they had the other Syed Mujtaba Haider, who can play a pretty good knock. And, it was like, we bought into it. We bought into this Do Kwon business, which Mansab was selling to us. We bought this Luna coin. And guess what? All four of us got golden eggs next to us, and we had egg thrown out on our face. I mean, let me tell you, Indus Thunders took them to school. They took the game seriously. Mansab was there, busy enjoying himself. But, here his team ended up losing the game. But I just felt that, we got taken to the cleaners on this one. Indus is not who we thought they are. They are the champions. And as 4 analysts, we have to take responsibility for this and say that we are not who we thought we are. We thought we were Bitcoin, but we are more like Luna coin. Let me tell you that. We are more like Luna coin. So hopefully next time when all 4 of us get on somebody's bandwagon, we better hope that, they will deliver the product. But in this game, I thought Indus Thunders did a fantastic job. It was getting close, but as long as Chetan was there and Manoj Singh was there, the game was never in doubt. It might have been in the doubt for some people, but at least I felt they had the game under control.
Cool. The last game of the week, which is also the game where we have our game changer of the week, Jagan Velaswamy. This was a game which I thought, Patriots would have come across, because I think Patriots have a history. Stingers is a new team, a lot of new faces and a lot of people who are playing their first DCL. But I think, to the surprise of everyone, Stingers were able to stitch a score, first of all, of 105, which is a great score. And then some tactical mistakes by Patriots. I think Patriots have started this season really, really badly. I think if you look at their bowling, they had like 7 to 8 bowlers. I don't know why. Again, even against us, I think there were these tactical mistakes which we had pointed out. The bowlers who were bowling well, not finishing up their overs. Vadanala again. In this case, he was a little expensive, but I would have guessed he would have finished his 5. Madhu, another one who bowls really well, he didn't finish up his 5 as well. So again, the same kind of tactical errors, using too many bowling options. And they had Stingers on the ropes. They had them like 18 for 5. I think we were talking on our group. And then come Jagan, he took control, very steady innings, typical DCL style, 50% strike rate, but he anchored and got, along with, Raghvendra and Chelam, he was able to stitch a really nice partnership with them and give them the momentum which got them to this power score. Like if you see Raghvendra and Chelam, they benefited significantly from Jagan's inning, because they were able to play freely at above 100% strike rate, since they had the platform to go about it. And as a result, they were able to get that 105. But Patriots again falling way short of what is expected out of them. Again, the middle order not contributing. Still no major contribution from the Falcon guys. I see Sainath now playing his first game, so that's good news for them. He definitely will add to the batting for Patriots, but still way short than what we expect.
Yep, and Padhav, you rightly mentioned, more number of bowlers in the Patriots unit, and that only causes for more confusion and to the skipper especially, right? Whom do you want to bowl? You got this player, do you want to really use him or not? 8 bowlers, really? And when you only have 3 for 4, why do you want to go for 8 bowlers? You have all the bowlers doing well. Last week, Madhu was the pick of their bowlers. He was he was the 5th bowler over here, but he doesn't get to finish his quota. Then you get Mahendra Buredi. Then you have, scroll down, please. I think Shrikant Gauni or Venkat might have also bowled. Yeah, Shrikant Gauni is bowling here for 1 over. Then you have Ramesh Ninawat. 8 bowlers. Why not try all 11? That would be a better option than this.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, I'm being a little critical, but yeah, it is what it is, Viju. It's the same thing we spoke about, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to call it as you see it. At the end of the day, I mean, some of the things do not make sense. But again, as you said, we said that Patriots are a show-me team. And so far, our first 2 games, they haven't shown us anything. Yes, they got Sainath in this game, but even still, then the results are the same. I mean, coming to this game, 12 for 5 in 8.4. This game should have been won, right? But Jagan Veluswamy comes in when the score reaches 12 for 5. And from there, what a resurrection. And that's the reason why we have given him the showcase, game changer of the week honors. But on top of that, he bowled very well and took the wickets. This is called carrying a team on your back. Jagan Veluswamy took it upon himself, stayed there, waited for the right opportunities, scored the necessary runs, and he did get some support towards the end of the innings. But nevertheless, the point is that without that critical play in the middle of the batting, this game would not have been won. He put enough runs on the board and then let his bowlers do the job, and then the Patriots obliged. But I think this is a game which the Patriots will look back and say, hey, we had them 12 for 5 and on the ropes, and then we let them off the hook. As Denny Green said, we let them off the hook. And that's exactly what happened in this game. They let them off the hook. But having said that, I had a quick question for you, Parthiv. Jagan Veluswamy was a critical piece of strikers, and then he went to India, and then he came back, and he never again played for strikers. Can you throw light onto what happened there?
Yeah, I think it was mutual for us. He has basically a lot of friends in and around the community where he stays, and he's obligated. Even last year, I think he was playing with his office team, people from his office, which he was part of Blazers last year. So the Mercedes group here in Michigan, they all had formed this team under Hari, and he was playing there. But he's come back to Stingers. He has a very close knit, almost like family relationships with some of these guys. And he and I had a talk, and he basically told me, it's very difficult to tell them no because they're so close in terms of friends and family. So there was no love loss or no bitter feelings or anything. I just let him, have him kind of, play where he would be happy.
Oh, by the way, Parthiv, I want to ask you a question. Before you go any further, Satya, just stop at that. Just stop there, because you know what? You ever heard of Queen Grimhilde?
No.
Ever heard of her? All right. She's there in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You heard of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right?
Yes.
I'm sure when you were a kid, you heard of it, right? Well, the Queen goes there. You know that, right? She goes and appears in the mirror, that magical mirror, and says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" And sure enough, every day the mirror faithfully gives the answer. You,
Yep.
O my queen, are the fairest of them all, you see. And then one day, Snow White comes of age, right? And then she comes of age, and then sure enough, with the queen, the cruel queen, goes in front of the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" And bang comes the answer. Oh, Snow White, who is living in the land of the Seven Dwarfs, she is the fairest of them all. And then the queen goes into a rage. Well, the reason for that is because I happened to go and see the magical mirror in my room. And so the first time I went and asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the best analyst of us all?" And the answer was, "Oh, my friend, oh, my Lord Viju, Parthiv Mehta is the best analyst of them all." And then, you know what? This week, after the games got over, I went to that magical mirror and I said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the best analyst of us all?" And the mirror faithfully came back and gave the answer. What is the answer? Oh my goodness! Parthiv Mehta is at 30. Oh, I'm at 16. And KK is the best.
We've got our Snow White.
I got stuck. So okay.
Yep, but I like the freeze on that video screen over there. The way he says this. But yes, don't make me the Snow White.
Okay.
Let Viju be leading those chats so that
All right. While Viju is while we're waiting for Viju to show up, can I show my second part of my trivia?
Oh yeah.
Let me share.
Oh, you're sharing. Okay.
Yeah. All right. For
You're speaking on mute, Path.
Am I talking now?
The video was on a mute.
Oh, yeah. The video is supposed to be what happens next. So the audio is not important, but what happens next? So
I thought that was a run out there, right?
No, he rolls over on the stumps, losing his balance,
Oh,
and the rest of the audience are the ones who laugh.
Okay.
Yes, just to give you a little brief history, Inzamam is probably the one person who's got out in almost every possible way that ever could be. All right, let's go to our predictions. Satya, if you want to share.
Okay. So we are having Satish. So
Hey, Satish. Unfortunately, your counter rival hasn't joined us, but yes, we will fill in on behalf of him.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Satish, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? Thank you.
I'm doing very good.
Hey, KK. Hello, Satya.
Hey, Satish.
All right, first game of the week. Spartans versus Thunders.
We are going quick on these guys. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thunders for me, no brainer. I don't think I need any explanation. I think the defending champions.
Yep, same here. I'll go with Thunders.
Me too. I'll go with Thunders.
Me too. I'm going Thunders. I don't want to go out.
All right. So we learned from the experience of the Luna coin. Good.
Motor City versus Knights. Is this wasn't this last week?
No, that was what is that?
Knights played someone.
That was that changing game. Spartan.
Yeah. So this is going to be a really close one, but I still go with Knights because I think they have some players from Kings 11 and Motor City is brand new. So Knights for me.
Yep, I'm going with Knights too.
I'm going with Knights. Viju?
Yeah, I think I'm also going with Knights.
Yeah. 4 Hawks. Detroit Berkshire.
Yes, Hawks for me. I'm going to support Vikram's another great performance after his spectacular last week.
I'll go with Hawks.
I'm going with Hawks too. So, Viju?
Yeah, I'm going with Hawks too.
Okay. Raptors FCC.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game, but I definitely think Raptors, as they always do, they start well. So Raptors are going to steamroll FCC. And our Bahubali has basically picked up from where he left last season. So he's in good form.
Yep, Raptors for me too.
Yeah, I'm going with Raptors.
Yeah, me too. I'll go with Raptors.
Yeah.
Man, this week is not a great week for me to catch up. I'm sure there'll be other weeks where I can bet on
KRCC Stringers.
Yeah, another 4-0, I think. KRCC.
Yep.
Yeah, Viju also.
Yeah, KRCC.
So this, yes. So
Chelsea, Guardians and Patriots. So yes, definitely looking at the dismal form of Patriots, I think definitely Guardians.
Yeah, when the IPL starts, right, you have all the teams, then the distribution, the list of the players, and then after a couple of losses, right, that's when you start thinking about, which team you want to actually support. If you are going on a betting spree, right, that's how Patriots' last 2 losses have actually lost my support. So, they're going to, I'll go with Guardians this game, especially based on how tough a fight they gave it to GLCC.
I'm going with Patriots this game, so hope they come back strong. I don't know.
Yeah,
there is still hope left.
Yeah, I'm going with SLCC Guardians.
Yeah. Detroit Bulls, local.
Yeah, Bulls for me.
Yeah, I think I picked Bulls. Isn't
yes.
I picked Bulls or local boys?
You picked Bulls.
Okay.
Everybody picked.
Stick with Bulls, but
Yeah.
I think somehow I like local boys. So
You want to
but I'll-
switch?
So you want to switch?
no. You guys go to bring that, don't you?
No, I'm going with Bulls too.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't
I think
remember my picks, so I had the sheet open to actually tell you which team I picked.
I can tell you if you
I have it open, Satya.
Okay.
Forget, especially in the close calls. Yeah, JLCC for me. I think SSK
I think
is
it's a 4-0. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
4-0
4-0.
GLCC.
even though it's 4-0, but I don't think it's going to be that like one-sided.
It's going to be a close game. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it depends who they bring on that day. So, SSK is a good team, but
Right.
yeah. This
Thunderbolts, Dynamites.
Yeah, this is the game I think where I have gone with my friend Dynamite, Vijay Shanmugan, offering him the much needed support to get it past Thunderbolts.
I'm picking Thunderbolts on this game.
picking Thunderbolts on this game. So.
Yeah, actually, I'm hoping that the space rocket brings Mayur Narasimhan back from Mars. So I'm picking Dynamites for this game, thinking that there will be a Mayur Narasimhan sighting and Vijay Kumar Gabriel will turn on the jets and be the dynamo for the Dynamites. So I'll go with Dynamites.
Yeah, this is another
Gladiators 4-0.
4-0. See, this is going to be another game where I am hoping that Gladiators don't win. Otherwise, another 180, 200 is on the score.
This week,
I think our Dark Horses friends should take that as a challenge and see that give us batting first and prove that they won't concede 200 runs. I think that's my recommendation to the Dark Horses skipper.
It's not only just the Dark Horses, even the umpires will be hoping that you guys don't win the toss.
Yeah, Gladiators have a challenge here, right? They have a challenge here. Winning the toss is a challenge.
The last game, they need not even go to the toss, Satish. The other team didn't show up on time, so Dark Horses has to show up on time. And if we look at their track record, they always bat first. They play their full 25 overs, then only bowl about 10 to 15 overs to the opposition and leave the ground.
Okay.
And hopefully that will happen in this game. If not, Gladiators will go for that highest run record.
Safaris, Detroit Titans.
All right. So this is I think our showcase game of the week, right?
No,
this
game is Legends Poke Race. Yeah,
Legends is the next one. But I think this is going to be another close one, even though it's not the two big names like Legends and Poke Race, but this is also going to be a very close game. I'm going to refrain from showing my vote because I'm going to be umpiring this game. So don't want to make it public which way I have swayed. But yeah, keep me in the middle.
Okay, I'm going with Safaris this time.
Yes, Safaris for me.
Yeah, I'm going with the Golden Boy, Golden Rutini, and Safaris on this one.
Yeah, from a thought perspective, I think the Golden Boy is not the same as last year, Viju. When he used to open, he used to take up the challenge up front, but now he's a little more conservative, more responsibility on his shoulders.
They got
let's see. Yeah, let's see how the season pans out, because that is actually huge, right? You come into a team as a newcomer, you have that full freedom to play, but then once you carry the team next year, it becomes a responsibility, and we'll see how well he handles that burden. And I hope this season is as good as last year for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the showcase game of the week, right?
So, Parthiv?
Yeah, this is another game which I'm umpiring. So again, keep me in the middle.
You're umpiring 2 games this weekend?
Yes. This weekend I'm completely free. No wife, no kids at home. So I'm going to be on the field.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going with Pokris. Nothing on Satish, nothing on you, but just selection. So.
At least, so far the top order of legends has not clicked, and they've had some hurdles, but at this point, whereas Pokris on the other hand completely dismantled Detroit Titans. So I'm going with Pokris for this game.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my friend Satish Belamukunda and the Legends because Satish likes a challenge. Not that Pokris doesn't like a challenge, but Pokris, whenever there is a showcase game of the week, I feel that they are scared of their own shadow. And I feel that when you're scared of your own shadow, you can't make too much progress in life. Sometimes you have to be willing to be able to answer the tough questions, not duck and hide. We have had 2 games, 2 weeks, and last year too, we have several weeks where any time there is a showcase game of the week, I think the skipper has a responsibility to come and present his players in the best possible light, because that's what you're the skipper for. Otherwise, are you there just to lead there on the field? I mean, what's the big deal with that? You have a responsibility to your players to present your team and to present your players in the best possible light and to promote the game. And I think in this game, Satish showed up, but I somehow feel that when a big game comes up, you'll see many of the Pokris, I don't know, they make a disappearance. So I'm going to go with Legends on this one. So I think Legends will bring their best unit out there. So we'll see what happens. So we have Satish on the show, and I think we have to ask him all the proper questions. But I do have one question. Satish, I want to hear from you. How come KK decided to leave Legends? Or I don't know if he's left Legends, but I would like to. I know that you're an honest person and you give the straightforward answer. So I'm going to ask you right in front of everybody. How come Mr. KK decided to leave? What's the scoop on that?
Okay, that's a good question, right? So basically, it's a mutual understanding, right? Even before we started 2021 season, when we were working on him, he actually he was very open to make the statement, right? He said he will just play the one season for Legends, and then he wanted to go for a different team in the next season. So I think he stood to his statement there.
Okay. But his brother is playing for you still, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay. All right. Partha, you have questions for Satish before I continue on?
Yeah, go ahead. I had actually a really surprising stat which I just stumbled upon, and I wanted to ask Satish. Satish, if I look at the DCL stats in 2017, you were the highest wicket taker in DCL. Is that correct?
No, not in DCL.
So, Partha, I'll tell you what happened behind that, right? You have a player by the name Satish in MI Rangers. So when all the profiles were merged into cricket clubs, it did not happen the right way. In fact, if you look at the 2017 season, it says that Vamsi, Krishna, Kaneganti played for 2 different teams in the same season, playing a total of 14 league games.
Okay. Yep. That
between KRCC and FCC. So even that needs to be corrected. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But there is some connection to that question, right? Yeah. In fact, I never get a chance to bowl in DCL, but in 2017. I tried to put a Legends team in that year itself, but due to some reason, I was not given spot in a league. I had to play for Indus Bolts that year, and I was offered to bowl by Captain Azim, and then I got to bowl like 10 league games or something. But I took some decent wickets, like 18 wickets or something.
Yeah, I was.
So when you were the skipper, you did not give yourself the ball.
Yeah, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of skipper, right?
Yeah, that's the problem, because we have seen in a few of the games which we are watching, the skipper keeps pushing himself further and further down. Like we were talking about Kaushik Chapudi and a few other guys, where they don't really deserve to come that low down, and oftentimes they are probably not bowling also. when they probably should be bowling, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
In fact, an interesting stat that Shakir Ahmed, who used to play DCL and also a lot of other tournaments, Satish even took his wicket in one of the tournaments, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So my question on the game was more around, with this game with Pokeries, I see in the previous game you've got your big guns already starting to, basically picked up from last year. You have Harish, Guru Naga, you have, I forget the other person's name, but they have been Sai Pratap. They've been on form right from where they left. Do you guys? Are you going in with your full strength for this game?
Yes, we are actually going in full strength, but I'm still waiting on a couple of players. But in terms of new additions, I have Mahendra this season, right? But he's not playing this game. He's not available. But besides that, there is one more player I'm still waiting on confirmation. But besides that, I have everyone.
Okay. And then my one other question is from the Pokeries side, who is that one player, or maybe there is a couple of players who gives you sleepless, who keeps you sleepless?
One and only Vicky.
Okay, I think I was guessing that would be the answer, but yes.
Yeah, any hands down Vicky. So we need to watch out for Vicky. He's a threat to us there.
Okay, I'll let others ask you questions as well.
I think Vicky was their best player by a mile, but now that new addition Saran Raj, I think it's probably changed the dynamics. At this point, I think Saran probably is their best player. I haven't seen him play so far this season. Am I wrong, or I thought I didn't see him in either of the two scorecards?
No, I don't know. He's here or in India. He got lost.
Okay, all right. So if he plays, then he still is going to be a big threat, because having seen him bat, I know that he's a exceptional batsman. So taking nothing away from Vicky, but the other question is our friend Avinash Raghu. I feel he comes way too down. I mean, even in the last game, the poor guy got only probably one ball to play. I'm not even sure if he got one ball to play, but he's another good, technically correct batsman who can handle many of the darts which the opposition can throw to them. But Satish, tell us a little bit about Guru Naga. I mean, I see that he has improved himself so much from what I saw, let's say, when I was there, because I think 2018, when I was there, I had seen him, but he was not that good a player. Compared to that to now, he has improved a lot. And maybe you can share to all of DCL. This is also giving credit to Guru Naga for what he has become as a player. And one of the things which we do on the show is highlight all the positive aspects of a team or the positive aspects of what somebody is doing right. But when I look at legends, yes, Harish has got tremendous talent. He's a fantastic player. We all knew that he was a fantastic player before. I saw him when he was playing for Dark Horses. Harish used to play for Dark Horses. He was exceptional then. He's equally exceptional now. He has definitely improved on his batting as well as his bowling. But when I look at Guru Naga, I feel that the percentage of improvement is significant. So maybe you can share with all of the league as to what this guy has done. I know he has gone and done some practice of his own. So, even if he doesn't have anybody, he goes and practices in the nets. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vamsi, but I think I heard that from somewhere that, he used to go and spend a lot of time in practice. But maybe you can share what made this guy improve so much. And that's also, we're trying to give a shout out to him for his vast improvement.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's actually right. That's a statement that we believe, right? Everyone, practice make a man perfect. Besides that, I know he's a very calm guy in the team, but he has that basic sense of the cricket game in his head, right? So, very, very lately, he opens up in the team, and then he's try to give his insights about the game as well. Not only the game, even outside of the game, when we're discussing something off the field, he used to say about certain things about the game. That actually tells, besides the talent, what he got within him, he also has that basic sense of the game knowledge, right? So that actually adds up to any player with the talent as well as the knowledge of the game. Then above all, he actually put himself into that practice mode since last year, especially the entire winter, right? Most of our players went on remote, went on hibernate mode in the winter, but he kept playing the tournaments. Not only the tournaments, moreover, he kept going to practice net sessions, right? Pretty much every day with one or other players, and then he pushed himself, and then he's getting groomed there. So I would say that's actually helping him out. So, but I would say practice here is helping him out. But he is very fine player, and he has that basic sense of cricket game. So that actually helping him to shine in the practice. And as we all know, we always think about him as a bowler, but believe me, he is a very underrated person when it comes to batsmen. We don't even think about him. But one example, I'm not sure whether you noticed it or not, last year when we were playing Michigan Cup semifinals.
Oh yeah, I saw that innings, right? He single-handedly won the game, and also that game went to overtime, right?
Yeah.
In the overtime, he went into bat, which I was surprised because that showed a tremendous amount of confidence, wherein he went into bat and he really took the game away. That the super over.
Exactly, he got like that patience, right? We noticed that patience not from that match, but even before DCL, when we were playing the league game with Blasters last year, there was a situation that we were chasing Blasters bowling for the score of 85 something. We were actually down by some 60 runs for 7 wickets or something. He went down as an 9th batsman, and then he held the innings there very patiently, and he was playing very carefully with the way that Deepak is bowling to him. And in fact, he turned that game to a favor in that day. So we actually noticed his patience level from that game onwards. But by the time we already know him, I mean, he's also a fine batsman, but we used to practice, does the batting in the practice sessions. But we always seen him as a bowler. But that actually gave some insight to me, at least to me, that I noticed him, he will be a good batsman if you can use him somewhere in the middle order or something like that, right? So that actually helped out me to choose a decision in that Michigan Cup, and he proved to my belief.
Last game, how come Narne only bowled 1 over? I wanted to ask that question. I mean, I asked Vamsi that question if he knew the answer.
Okay, so it's not an open secret, but the only thing is he's running on some injury now. So he's working out on shoulder injury. So he tried bowling 1 over. So, but then he said if situation is going wrong, then he want to come back and bowl, but he wants to take some rest in the match.
Okay. Well, I hope he's going to be fully fit, because a fit Narne can bowl lights out. So, it'll be a good. Vamsi, you have some questions? I'm sure you have plenty of questions for your former buddy.
In fact, I do. The first question is why
captain comes next game for the show.
What is it?
The captain comes for the next game, next show. Sorry.
Praveen, okay.
So yeah,
good luck with that.
He's the new captain, right?
Yeah, he's our new captain. Yeah, for sure he'll come on the show. Maybe he's busy something today. He's a busy man at work for sure. So we'll see how it goes in the next game.
I don't think Satya even called him for this show. I think he straight away came to you because Legends is synonymous with you. So, I think, am I wrong, Satya? Or
I called Satish first because I want Satish.
Okay.
Because he's.
I was right.
It's a team order thing. Like he's defines stuff. So next time, going to Praveen next time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, Legends is synonymous with you. So, but I'll let Vamsi ask the questions.
Yep. The first question is, why are you not playing the league so far?
It's a good question. So I'm at, I did say, the first thing is I did not play enough cricket after the last game. What we had a bad day last year in the pre-quarters. After that, I was in hibernate. I didn't play any cricket. So right now I'm not in rhythm yet. So I'm still working out on my batting skills. I'm still practicing. So last week I had some good outing on the leather ball, so that actually giving me some confidence. So I'll try to put myself in. In pretty soon I'll be playing the games in DCL.
Thanks, Satish. And the next question is, last week you have already answered, have you lost Anantraman Yoga to another team, right? And this year I see in the squad you don't have Rahul Gollapudi, who played for Legends last year. Then I see Murugan playing for a different team this year, I think Dynamites. And even Salman Salarjai, he's now in Rising Stars unit. And of course, you have lost few more players like Venkat Koluri, Sujit Chanda, Sandeep Kohli, Raviteja Yarlagadda, Ravitej Pujari, and Sudhakiran to Guardians unit. So with this new lineup that you have, what do you think you can expect, or the viewers can expect, when it compared to the last season? Who are your new additions? Give us some insight.
Okay, so if I had to speak about the players which I lost, it's only thing, as I already informed Anant, is he already informed me that he wants to play a season with 10 to 11 players because he already gelled with them in the leather ball tournament. But we already offered him to come back, so which I think he might come back next season. There'll not be any surprise on that. But coming to Murugan, he's been trying out to go to Dynamites maybe from last year. But I know this guy since many years, just because of that loyalty he was sticking with me. But this, and in fact, last year, because of the squad what we had, I couldn't give him enough opportunity, right? Not only Murugan, right? For that matter, I couldn't give enough opportunity to Ravitej. If I had to pick one player, Ravitej is a fine player in our squad. And for that matter, Sudhakiran is a fine player, right? He plays a very good cricket, but I never gave any opportunity because of the squad what he had. That actually one of the biggest factor where I got in my mind, let's go with a club, form a club, because we are having more number of players, form a team and onboard some more players, and then let's go with the two teams in DCL League, right? That's how Guardians popped out. And then I had to offer some of the players like Ravitej, Rahul, and everyone to Guardians to make it a better team that has, right? If you remember, if you look at my mindset, the year where I formed Legends, I strived all my efforts to put that team into playoff for the very first season. I'm not sure whether in DCL history any team did that in the past, but I don't know about the beyond 2011 the DCL history.
Repeat that again, Satish. I didn't catch you on that.
Any team formed as a new as a team members in the DCL history, did they make into player for the first season?
Yeah, I mean Bridges made it very first season.
Oh, very first season. Okay,
when they formed. Technically speaking, after that we formed Lads. Lads also was from scratch because we had Lansing before that, but then once all the split happened, basically it was Bridges, and then.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know because this could have happened before 2011, right? I was not in Michigan by the time.
Yeah. I mean, probably. Yeah, definitely Bridges was around 2008.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's an education for me. But I was inquiring.
But I thought there was one other team which did it. Somehow it doesn't come to my mind straight away. But I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a commendable thing because it's not an easy thing. People think it is easy, but it is not.
Yeah, that's for sure, right? I mean, I always used to work on that bonus point.
Yeah, actually think about it. Kings 11, very first year they made it into the playoffs. Am I right, Vamsi KK?
It was Kites before. They renamed it as Kings 11. It was Kites previously, but last year, if you ask me about last year, it was Blasters. The first outing they made it to playoffs, but all these players were seasoned. That's a different story.
Okay.
Yeah, but in 2018, the Legend squad, if you look at the squad, only me, Srikanth, Praveen were the DCL players. Rest of all, they are new to Michigan, and then they used to play different tournaments that year, and then they participated in DCL along with Legends, right? So they were new to that ball format. So with that mindset, right, what I'm about to say, the Guardians team, we want to form that, relatively a competitive team rather than being a new team altogether. So I had to extend those players from our team to Guardians. But besides that, there are some additions as well to Legends this year. If you look at, there are five new additions. Biggest addition is Mahindra. He is being added to the squad, but most likely he'll play a couple of league games, but he'll try to come for all the playoff games. And the next addition is Arjun. He was from Detroit Bulls. So he is one of the players where he can open the bat. He's not a danger man, but he can stick to the crease and he can score that 20 plus runs or 15 plus runs, right, on any given day. So he's one good player. And I also have one new addition this year, especially he is new to Michigan. His name is Ravi Teja, but he was yet to give an opportunity in the DCL. This week he is not available, but he had a very good outing in Leatherball last week when he played first game in Michigan. So we are hoping some good performance from him with a bat. And we have a new addition, Sai Gautam from Kings 11. He played Kings 11 last year because of the team got dismantled, so he came to us. He's another good all-round addition to us. And above all, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? The fifth player.
I think it's Ravi Ganta.
Oh, Ravi Ganta, yes. Ravi Ganta.
Yes.
Yeah, we added Ravi Ganta from Indus squad. So these are the five additions.
Yeah, my
Ravi
question.
Teja played last weekend, but he was not on the scorecard. I mean, he's there as listed, did not bat.
Yeah. So I mean, the story about him, right? We seen him in practice session. Okay. He introduced to us. I want to call out that name, right? Jagan Konda introduced him to our team, where he approached in Facebook to Jagan Konda, and then he referred to us. And he came to 2 weeks of practice sessions, and he was doing good with the T-ball in the batting. But more like, he will introduce himself as a leather ball player. And then we were kind of trying out the different options in the previous game. He was part of the squad. And moreover, he has his pollen allergy, and he couldn't stay around in the ground for a longer time because of the pollen allergy. And his eyes were red, and then he couldn't. So I said he could take rest in the dugout. He was sitting in the dugout. He didn't participate in the game. And the following day, Sunday, we had no players, and then we requested him to play leather ball. I mean, I was stunned by his batting. Right, he got into batting for the second down, and he scored some 49 runs in 25 balls. Like he got the big shots, like very clean hits to the ground boundaries. So we are hoping some good performance from him. So, but T-ball is a different ball game. Leather ball is always good. In fact, if you ask me, I have some good scores in leather ball, but I don't score that much in T-ball. So T-ball is a different game. Very few can play leather ball and T-ball as like Arjun Ajbani, Prasanna, Focus Prasanna. Very few players only can handle that T-ball as well as leather ball the same way. Not everyone. So, but I'm hoping some performance. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, I had one question.
Do you think do you think your team is better this year compared to last year? Or
no, I don't.
Is it my imagination that you have actually lost a little bit of more talent than probably last year's team?
No, I mean, I don't want to call that out at this point in time, but I had best team last year, if you ask me now. But I don't know how this season progressed with this new unit, but I had best team last year. Among all this, from 2018, 2019, 2021, the best squad I had was last. But this year, as you know, Venu is trying to cope up with his performance, with his fitness and everything. If it turns out good, that will be a good addition to my team this year.
That was my next question, Satish. Is Venu going to bat this season? Because the last game he has not batted.
He wanted to actually, but we will put him in bat very soon. he expressed his interest towards batting as well in the last game. So we'll put him pretty soon in the batting.
And how is the rehab with the back?
He is still working out. If you look at the first match, he bowled only 2 overs. This match, he pushed himself for 1 more over. So next match, we'll see if he can do 5 overs this quota.
Parthu, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
I
you
had
off.
one question. This was more around the formation of this SLCC club. So we've seen in the past DCL that we've had teams kind of, adopt this model of, kind of a 2-tier where you have, one team which is competing for the biggest prize, and then the one team that is, people who just want to play and enjoy. That hasn't worked. Even the mighty Thunders tried that. They had Indus Bolts and Indus Thunders, and eventually Bolts is no longer there. How do you see these two teams kind of working together? Like, is there a plan of transition of players from one getting to the top tier and from the top tier coming into the bottom tier, or are they going to operate as separate units?
Oh, definitely. There will be switching around, right? As the season progress, not season, but if you go to next season, there will be some switchovers. That's for sure. Yeah, if that is the question, yes, there will be definitely some switchovers.
Okay. And the players know about that it's based on performance, that you get into legends based on performance into the top 18.
We did not call that out specifically, but if you look at Guardians, right? So half of the squad, I wouldn't call it half of the squad, but 30% of the squad is, if you look at the names from Lansing. So last year we had like Ajay, Rahul coming from Lansing. Now they have like 5 to 6 players. They want to play in one team. They don't care whether it be like Guardians or Legends. They want to play in one team because they always come as a unit and go as a unit, right? That's the request only they made. So we thought, okay, let's put everyone in Guardians and then let them play as unit. That's the only thing. But switchovers would be there for sure. And the floor is open for everyone if they want. I mean, in fact, when we are working on this logistics about the players, we gave offer to all the players to choose. We can choose which team they wanted to go. And then it's on their own interest they want. I mean, people like Ravitesh or some other, right? They didn't get enough opportunities last year in Legends. They felt, okay, let's give their shot in the Guardians being a new team. Mm-hmm. So basically, being a new team will not have major expectations, right? So they can happily play. So something like that.
Sounds good. Thanks. All right. I know we are running close to our show time. So any last questions anybody, any of the analysts has?
Yeah, I had one question for Satish. Satish, I heard that you were planning on starting a rival league, not necessarily to DCL, but something along the lines of FCC, what FCC conducts. This is news which came to me that you were planning to do something. And is that true? And if that is true, can you throw some light on it?
Oh, okay. So first of all, it's not a rivalry league. I don't want to call that out because this has been in my mind. In fact, it was not in my mind. It has been in our mind, I would say, me, Venu, because we closely move around, right? He's my classmate from the childhood. Venu is my classmate. So me, Sudha, Kiran, and Venu, we move along a lot, not only in the field, outside the cricket. So this has been in our mind from 2 years because Venu was with me in 2015 onwards, right? So we were working on opening a club. More than a club, we want to register a club under a city name because nowadays, South Lane is growing a lot with the Desi community. So we want to register a club as a non-profit organization. And on top of it, there is one more thing it felt in my mind. We want to offer some coaching camps for the kids, especially around here. That's one thing we are going to do pretty soon from the club perspective. And we also felt, okay, let's organize some tournaments in South Plain area. That's something that we got that into mind a couple of years back, where things did not work out to form the club last year because of this pandemic and everything. But now it finally happened. So it's not for sure a rivalry to anyone, but it's just an additional league or a platform to players where they can enhance themselves and play a lot of cricket in Michigan.
Okay, but it's going to be similar, right? In the sense that probably 20 over games conducted over the weekdays in the evenings under lights.
Basically, I'm this year there won't be any tournaments, most likely, but I'm still working out on some sponsors. But most likely, I'm thinking there won't be any tournament this year. But next year we're planning, 2 tournaments we're planning. But there is one new format. I know this format, but some of you already know. But I'm working on that format. But it will be T-ball for sure.
Okay. That's it. Thanks, Satish, for all the answering all the questions. Very straightforward. At least my questions, I'm going to let KK and Parthiv and Satya ask any final questions to you.
Sure. Thanks.
No, yep. I think I don't have any questions. KK, do you have anything?
Nope. I think he was pretty clear in all his answers. And
all right. Thank you so much, Satish. It's a pleasure again. I know you're a avid follower of our show, so continue supporting the show and continue.
Definitely, yeah. I will.
Back. Yeah. All right. I think it's about time for us to. I know our game changer of the week, so I just want to give a shout out to Jagan. Make sure that you claim your $25 gift certificate from Satya. Either call or text him. Make sure you claim it before. Is it Monday, Satya?
No, I think 48 hours.
48 hours. Okay. So Friday. Okay. So by the weekend, I think he needs to claim it. Yep. So if you're listening to the show, or if you've already got a message, I think you probably need to return the call. All right. So I think that was basically it for the show. I want to leave you guys thinking a little bit. So I've got another piece of trivia for you. Can you guys name the only captain in international, obviously, cricket, who is captain 100+ tests as a captain? So he's played 100+ tests as a captain. So leave your answers to our YouTube channel. I will be monitoring and giving out the answer. But yes, thank you again for the show, joining the show, for people who have been following us, and see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, peace out.
See you guys.
All right, see you guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, Satish.
Yep. Bye-bye.